Hi guys, welcome back to Comix. This episode is episode 58, and I will be your host for the evening or morning whenever you're listening to us. And as you are very familiar with everyone else, I'll let them introduce themselves.
Hello, I'm Andres.
What's going on, everybody? It's Esteban.
Hey, it's Ash. I'm sober. Remember this.
So far.
So far.
Wait till the end of the episode and check back.
Not even the end, more like halfway.
Halfway through. Yeah, totally.
Give him 20 minutes.
Okay. And then today is actually Luis's birthday, so he is not with us currently recording, but we do wish him a very, very happy birthday. He seems to be having a blast through his birthday week and celebration, so that's awesome. So we'll cheers to him and for his birthday. But speaking of cheers, Ash, what are you drinking today?
Well, I decided to act like I was a frat boy, and I am drinking Fireball.
There was a firefight!
Oh, God.
And I am drinking a Bud Light Seltzer Mango.
Of course you are.
Jesus Christ.
Hey, I gotta be different.
How is the
I could say
combination?
Evan Williams all day
How does
long.
it work?
What?
How does that work? Does it taste good together? Because I know that you take a shot and then you chase it.
Yeah, it's not a. Everything is just to take away the sting of the shot. So like, I drink it with like a squirt. Nope, I drink it with like a squirt the soda. Like as long as it takes away that little aftertaste or whatever.
Mm.
And Melissa left this. Thank you, Melissa. And that's what I'm drinking. Otherwise, it would be the soda that I always drink.
The squirt?
It would be the squirts. I mean, the squirt. Why is it plural? The squirts are something way different.
Oh, yeah.
Very
so that's what I'm drinking.
Got you. So cheers, Louise. And I'm very happy. What?
So it's good. I honestly, there's people that count. I won't do Truly. I'll do Bud Light Seltzer or vice versa, or not Mike's Hard Lemonade. There's another one that's out there. That's
there's a ton.
There's a ton.
There's like,
but there's like
tea. There's
domestic ones like this. There's another one that I can't think of. Oh, White Claw. I guess White Claw, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this one's okay. I can't tell the difference between any of them because they all taste like like Perrier water. So it's, the little caps, they all taste like a hint of whatever the fuck they. So, but I like it. Fireball. Fireball is okay. It's what I don't go to it, but I notice like a lot of parties. I would say a lot of people that don't like whiskey will go towards Fireball. Like that's the acceptable whiskey for them.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
That Fireball bottle that you have, is that the one that was at our apartment that for so long and you ended up taking it?
No. This one I got at the Country Liquor because
okay.
The Evan Williams bottle they had was like this, and it was like $20, and I was like, at CVS it's like $20 for the fucking carried in a backpack, and they had it for $20 like that, and I was like, this was like the biggest one they had that was $20, and I'm trying to go through a bottle a week and a half as opposed to every 2 days getting a fucking bottle.
I'm not an alcoholic, actually. Yeah, I'm only here because I got a little drunk and I threw a flaming bag of feces into a building and I kind of burnt it down a little bit.
Trying to cut down. And I knew I had the show, so I was trying to make it different.
Right. No.
Especially with the success of cocktails and comics.
Mm-hmm.
Comics and cocktails. One of them. Either way, it's a CNC Music Factory.
It's a CNC.
Yeah.
Same fees. So that was your cheers, Luis. That was a long cheers to your birthday.
Well, usually we have to break down because for the video, I'm trying to for my content. Happy,
Happy
birthday
birthday.
to you. What?
Here's
This should be a copyright
Happy
thing.
birthday.
Cheers. I will say I don't like how
took the
sticky.
shot.
The cinnamon makes it sticky. I don't like that.
Okay, no. First of all, no. Squirt, and now we're talking the finger, and then sticky.
I'm not talking about fingers.
No.
I said it's sticky. Sticky
While
fingers.
you're doing this.
But I wasn't
Awesome.
talking
I
about
love
it.
it.
Okay, let's not even revisit that. Let's move on. Oh God.
Jesus.
Oh,
Esteban.
by the way, I saw the first 2 episodes of Squid Games, and he's talking about how his fingers messed up, and he keeps going, "Look, boss, why my fingers like this?" Like he was like doing some weird. That was weird. You guys, have you seen that part?
No, I didn't
He
watch
doesn't
Squid
have a
Game.
I've not
finger, that's
seen
why.
Squid Game.
We were just laughing our ass off. You haven't seen it? Never mind.
Oh, you guys should.
That part
definitely-
never happened.
That part never happened.
It's not integral. It's not an integral part to the story, so you're fine. But you guys should
Gotcha.
definitely watch Squid Games.
It just, I know there was a lot of hype over it. So then whenever a show has a lot of hype like that, I just rather wait till it dies down so that like I could just make my own decision about it rather than because
Same.
it was hyped. Yeah. I don't doubt it's
Yeah.
good.
During red light, green light, it was gonna gauge my if it was gonna be gory or not.
Right.
Just I'm not spoiling anything, but it and I was like, oh, this is okay. I can handle this. It wasn't as bad
Oh,
as I thought.
that's interesting. I'm surprised to hear you say that.
Well, it was like watching The Expendables. Like it wasn't all like Planet Terror when everybody's head was like, I think I see him, Jack, and then the heads were exploding. Like I was all, what the fuck? But these were more like, okay.
Like you couldn't handle Planet Terror, but you could handle this. That's weird.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to gauge. Yeah, I'm not judging. I'm just trying to gauge your aptitude or your.
I
your
was
ability
watching like
to
this,
take
though,
more.
like waiting for it to. I was gonna say waiting for it to come. I had to
No, I-
finish.
Oh, you're waiting for me to come, huh?
Isn't he always though?
Why
I
do you
was
think I
making
drink?
a joke
Why?
how I could make it sticky for you earlier, and then you just.
Aw.
We just started this show.
I thought you were gonna say like waiting for it to pop off or something like that. You know?
Oh, you
but you,
want me to wait for it to
you
pop
decided to
off,
go
huh?
down that road. That route,
Go straight to the source.
the girthy source.
Oh, jeez. Okay. I'm taking this back. Nope. So any comments, Esteban, that we have this week?
Actually, we do have one, and I'm pretty proud of it. So recently what I've been doing is I've been taking snippets of all of our episodes and the drinks that we end up promoting on the show. So and I've been kind of compiling it in a little series called Cocktails and Comics. So the comments that Carmen's talking about is an opportunity for everyone to go ahead and, you know, share their voice on our content. So we do appreciate everyone leaving us a comment, leaving us a like, sharing our videos. We do have our social medias up on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. YouTube is definitely one of our big ones, as well as TikTok and Instagram. So the content that you see on there, you know, feel free to go ahead and comment, drop us a like, share our videos. You know, it really does help us out. We do greatly appreciate it. And if you guys do end up dropping us a comment, then we'll end up reading it on the show. So we appreciate all that that you guys do for us. So on TikTok, I ended up putting together a video where one of our videos for Cocktails and Comics was when Carmen brought on the Agua Solo whiskey. And there is someone on TikTok. Yeah, there it is. It's empty. Bottle empty. There's this guy on TikTok. There's this guy on TikTok called That One Dude Ryan, and his whole thing on his TikTok, his whole channel, his TikTok channel is pretty much talking about like whiskeys, bourbons, scotches, ryes, and cigars. So if that's something that you guys are really into, you guys really need to check out his handle is That Dude Ryan, and he's got a YouTube, he's got an Instagram. So I would definitely go ahead and check him out if you guys are trying to expand your horizons as well, as far as bourbon, rye, scotch, things like that. There's a lot of stuff on there that I didn't know existed, as far as the different types of, you know, bourbon and rye and scotch. So when he did end up seeing Carmen's episode, or little snippet of the Abasolo whiskey, this is what he commented. He goes, Mexican whiskey, might have to give this a go. So it looks like he's going to be picking it up. And I commented back and I said, let us know what you think. So hopefully we'll see something, one of his videos with him trying it out. So we appreciate that. Again, his handle is That One Dude Ryan. So you guys should check him out.
And also, just for you guys, our listeners, or if you have tried any of the drinks that we have mentioned at all, tell us how you liked it, if we described it the way that you perceive it, or whatever your opinion is on the drink. If you would like to try it, just leave us a comment letting us know your thoughts on those. Those are great. I mean, I always find new things to drink, even through us just sharing. So, I mean, that's awesome. Moving on, I do have a comment, not public, but it's about our playlist. So I got a compliment on the playlist, and it was from somebody that I went to school with and follows the times that I post the repost. And so he went and found the playlist, and the message reads, although this list is eclectic, there's a lot of gold in this playlist. Keep it up and tell your castmates. I truly appreciate all the picks. So
Nice.
that was that.
No, that makes me feel good because I got not one compliment on our playlist yet, so that makes me feel good.
That's awesome.
So thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Here's to you.
I get responses, but it's like fire or 100 or like whatever.
We hardly get stuff like that, so it makes me feel good when we get actual words and stuff. But
they say if it's our friends, I think they respond to our repost and not to Comix. So maybe that's why we don't see it. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Yeah, but I do get a lot of those. And I see a lot of, sorry, that's twice I cut you off. Okay. I'm paying attention. But I do see like when it is like, it's one of my friends that like Andres's picks or Carmen's picks. You know what I mean? Like, so I do see friends like other people's shit. Just I only see I only see the people that like my stuff.
Right. Yeah, and it's to me, it seems a little difficult. Like if you've already gotten certain people to already follow us, you know, like our group of friends and stuff like that, like that's pretty much the extent of it. But the ones that do continuously, like you were saying, like the post and give us the fire or the 100s and stuff like that, that give us all that those comments. It's like one of those things where it's like you kind of want to tell them like, hey, I appreciate you commenting, but what would really help out is if you actually go to our actual page and, you know, follow and comment and stuff like that.
I must say that for weeks upon weeks, we were stuck like at 4 to 5 likes on it, and now we're up to 10. So that makes me feel good.
Nice. That's awesome.
It's an overall list, or every week it's like 10, or
no. So it only lists. It doesn't have a breakdown like that. It just has a total lists of likes. It doesn't even tell me who liked it. So all I know is we have 10, and I'm sure us, 5 of or half of those.
If I repost and somebody likes it, do you get notified that there was somebody that liked it on my shit, or is it like it's only on Comix?
No, and not only that, I meant it on our actual playlist on Spotify.
That's dope.
So it only shows 10 and it doesn't say from who. So and
okay.
and like half of us,
Cool.
I'm sure, is us. So I don't know.
Andreas, what do you think about maybe once a month, like a theme, like we did, like what made you cry, or what song makes you feel blah blah blah, or
I
what
am
song
up
hypes
for it.
you up?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't mind. We could probably do it on whoever is the host of that week. I like
Pretty cool.
leaving it. I left it at what you're listening to now. So that means like if you're ever like stuck on a song for the week or something's in your head, you can just throw that one up. But yeah, I'm open for that. I don't mind.
Do you ever like when you get stuck on a song, is it like it's so fucking hard, like going through a breakup, it was like that's what introduced me to Halsey, and it was Halsey fucking all through. Do you know what I mean? So it was kind of hard to be like, if we did something weekly, I don't want to do other songs from her, you know.
It's weird when I do mine because I do have, and that breaks down to like Carmen's recommendation of High Fidelity to me, is that I have little rules as to what I do onto mine, and I don't. So not all of you have the same taste as me. Obviously, some stuff that you guys like, I wouldn't listen to, but that's fine. And some of you guys double up on stuff, or some like, oh, they doubled up on this, or that was really recent to have another song from that artist. But I'm like, yeah, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's not my song. So I don't like. Yes, when you're saying that, does it bother me? No. It's your song for the list. When I do it, I have. It sucks for me because I have like 3 songs piled up, and then I'm like, oh, I should do this one. And I fucking when it comes to it, I totally forget, and I like throw a random one. I was like, shit, I wanted to do this other song.
Yeah.
And then I'm sorry. Another bad thing is I have another playlist of my own, and I'm like, I'm putting too many songs from my personal playlist onto this playlist. I need to stop that. So I kind of have rules and stuff.
I have a playlist called Andreas's playlist, and every like Monday it's like, oh, one song off the playlist to go onto our playlist. So I have weeks upon weeks planned, but I knew what threw me off was like when Carmen was like, oh, what song makes you feel, or what,
right.
So it would be cool like once a month to do like a themed one.
Mm-hmm. Now I'm perfectly fine with it. It won't disrupt anything on my end.
Yeah, it's funny because when we moved back down from Sacramento down to SoCal, I was going through a box and I found my iPod. And I'm like, holy shit, I haven't, it was like when the first video iPods came out, like it was like one of the very first generations of the video iPod. And it was like one of those big old, like 160 gig behemoth fucking iPods, right? So I'm like, I don't even know if this shit's gonna even work. So luckily I found the 30-pin connector and I plugged it in, and sure enough, it turned on. So a lot of the songs, as of probably about 2 weeks ago, a lot of those songs that I've been throwing on or telling Andres for the playlist are coming straight from that iPod, because I have that iPod playing than the actual music that's coming off of my phone. You know what I mean? Or using the Apple Music. So I'm like super stoked, like, cause it's like a lot of stuff that I haven't heard in years. So, which is actually pretty cool. So
it was cool. Like on LimeWire, like, say you put it in Motorhead and then fucking it suggests, I'm just giving an example. You put in Motorhead, but then like, there's a song from like, Iron Maiden, and that's what introduced me to this. So that was always cool.
Well,
like, yeah.
And that's the thing though. It's like when it came to that point where, everyone was using, LimeWire and BearShare.
There was another one. The LimeWire. What was the first one? There was a first one, wasn't there?
Napster.
Napster was the very first one.
Napster. Oh yeah, Napster.
He's who really invented Napster.
Right. Napster was the very first
Pirate
one.
Bay was after.
Yeah. So I used Pirate Bay. Probably shouldn't be saying this, but
you definitely shouldn't. Hypothetically.
Hypothetically. But yeah, it like what Ash was saying, it's like when you type something into one of those programs and all of a sudden you got like this acoustic version that no one's ever heard of, and you're just like,
that's the only thing that's not cool about Spotify.
That's what YouTube is for.
Yeah, no, for sure. For sure.
Other than like the ethics behind Spotify, and yes, they don't pay the artists. That aside, there are like, depending on the artist, they have like special like live programs just for Spotify of certain songs. So like I found like a lot of stuff that's like a Spotify studio version of
Oh shit.
this and that. So
or
if
it's
you
not
find-
in their content, but it's like also can be found on AOL Live or some shit like that, huh?
yeah, there's a few like iTunes stuff where it's like an iTunes exclusive.
Oh,
So,
the iTunes sessions. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So Spotify has that and iTunes has it. So I'm sure you could find like some limited edition live performances where like an artist you like covers a song that from another artist you like. You're like, oh fuck, this is the greatest thing ever.
Yeah.
Cool.
No, yeah, for sure. Because during that whole time period, like one of my favorite bands was Coheed and Cambria. So there was shut up. I know you're laughing about the sweater.
Sweater
Yeah.
band.
the sweater story, yeah. But there was one acoustic version that like I had never heard of.
My sweater. Sorry.
Thank you. There was an acoustic version of one of their songs, and it was like, it was just one of those where it's like, it was a real like heavy beat song, you know, like it was a like major headbanger. And then I heard the acoustic version and it's like, I couldn't find it anywhere else except there. So it's like, I have it on my iPod and I'm just like, yeah, this is one of those, like we were saying, like one of those rare finds, you know, to go ahead and pull up, you know, on something like that. So it's like when it comes up to me picking the song, it's like, I know for a fact there's a big possibility that that's not going to be on Spotify, you know, to go ahead and promote. So it's kind of like, I kind of hold off on stuff like that. So. But
last question, is iTunes subscription based
for iTunes Music?
Yeah, if you do Apple Music
Yeah,
is subscription based. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Apple Music. Okay.
And the thing is that like I thought it was dope, and I jumped on it real quick because the way that they explained it was like, oh, you download the song, you keep the song, and that's technically not the case because I tried plugging in my iPod to try to like put the music that I've pulled off of Apple, and you can't do that because you technically didn't purchase it. You're paying for the subscription. You can listen to the song, and that's pretty much it. So yes, in a way you can keep it, but you can't like throw it onto an iPod, or for our older generation, you can't burn it to a CD. You know,
you took it from me. I was gonna say burn to disc.
Yeah, you know, so you can't do that off of the Apple Music. So.
Kermit.
Do you guys like? Yeah.
Back to shows.
Do you guys like? Thanks. I was gonna ask if you have Apple Music and Spotify, and which service do you prefer, or do you use it for different things? Because at some point I had both of them, but I ended up keeping Spotify just because I like the algorithm that it works with more than iTunes Music. But do you guys have a preference?
I like Spotify.
No, go ahead.
And then I like Spotify. Though whenever if I say Alexa play Rolling Stones, it goes, pretty sure it's a setting that it chooses Amazon Music, even though my subscription's with Spotify.
You can change that in the app.
I will look into that. I'll look into that. I like when you say something for Apple Music. I like a play whatever, and it like plays. It goes Rolling Stones, it'll go Beatles, and it'll go Badfinger, it'll go like a bunch of different bands. To where Spotify will just play that band, unless you say, you know what I mean, unless you physically pick that. But other than that,
my day sucked.
I like Spotify. It feels more user friendly to me.
Okay, I like Apple Music only because it's like to me it's very user friendly. You know, the Apple Music. I've listened to a lot of like their radio stations. So it's like I'm sure Spotify does the same thing. It's like you pick an artist and then you want to create a station based around that artist. And then you start getting all these songs or from other bands that are relatively close to that artist. So I like that. It's actually pretty cool. The other thing on there is that you can actually listen to custom playlists from other Apple subscribers. And I'm not sure if Spotify does that. I'm sure it probably does, so you can do that. There's this actual really dope 90s mix on Apple Music. It's really, really cool. And it pulls from like every single genre that was like the peak of the 90s. And it's a fucking dope playlist. Really, really cool playlist. So, but yeah, I prefer Apple Music.
So I never used Apple Music. For the longest time I had a Pandora, and like it had that ability.
Yeah.
You could you like an artist, and if you pick an artist, it plays music similar to that artist. So I held out for a long time, and I was just like, fuck it, I'll start my Spotify. So I have that, and I like that. So the only thing that bothers me is you should pay your fucking artist more money. That's all.
Everybody heard it here.
Apple pays the artists.
Yeah, like half a cent for a fucking listen.
True.
But they're getting paid.
Sure.
Yes, let's go down that road.
Let's not.
Yeah.
So, talking about recommendations based on the playlist and other recommendations that we do on the show, Ash had recommended for me to watch Punch Drunk Love. It's an Adam Sandler movie, which I had no idea until I started watching it. And I'm not gonna lie, I was at first very confused by it, and then I started to get it, and then I liked it. It took me a while to understand exactly what was going on because just the pacing of the movie. But once I did get the point of the movie or the plot and connected to the character, I gotta truly say it is a really good movie. I liked it. And also there is this part of Adam Sandler where he has some mannerisms that he displays, as part of like being shy or just like certain characteristics that I could connect with certain people in my life. And I thought that was kind of cool that there was that connection that I was making. So I liked it a lot. Thank you for the recommendation. I quite enjoyed it. For people that haven't seen it, I do recommend it. It is, it kind to me, and I don't know if this is what it was when it came out. It felt like an indie movie more so less, as in it's kind of like niche, and either you're gonna like the movie or you're not. And so I liked it. I'm sure most of you have seen it, so you can say whether you did like it as much as I enjoyed it or not. But again, we recommend it. Watch it. It's a treat. It's different, I'll say that. But definitely good. And actually, it's a way that I haven't seen Adam Sandler, because I had seen like his comedic stuff and then like some drama like stuff, but I didn't like the other stuff. Like the most recent stuff that he has on Netflix, I didn't quite enjoy. So this was a change of that. So I liked it.
Very cool.
My recommendation, because it would fall for me this week, it would be for Ash. And it is a show on Hulu, and it's actually pretty mainstream. So it's Murders in the Building.
It's on Hulu. Murder in the Building.
Yeah.
Is that the one with Steve Martin, and Martin Short, and no,
Selena Gomez.
Selena Gomez.
Selena Gomez. Is it that one?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a fun watch. I didn't expect to enjoy it as much as I did. But I will let you give us your thoughts next week when you have a chance to catch up on some episodes. So let's get started. Finally, 40 minutes into the show, and we're about to get started with our first topic, as per usual.
My favorite part about last week was like, Andres was like, "There's topics." It was that
long. So let's get this one out of the way. The show The Boys, which we enjoyed, hopefully. Have we all watched The Boys, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
So season 3 started filming, which is pretty awesome. That means that we're probably going to get the season 3 release. It's probably going to be around the beginning of 2020. No, the middle of 2022. So around summer. So it's coming. We're halfway there. Is there something that you guys want to see from The Boys? No, let me ask this. Who's your favorite character from The Boys? Let's go there.
Okay.
Ash.
It used to be Dewey, because I felt like he was the most sane one. It's still, it kind of still is. Damn, that's a hard question. Who's coming around on me? The guy that was in Star Trek that looks exactly like.
No! Shut up! Shut the fuck up! You have no right to take me. Shut up! Will you shut up? Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
I can't think of his fucking name, but they wanted him for Wolverine for 10 minutes.
Cal Urban.
Yeah. But what's his character
And
name?
he was in Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, he was also in Lord of the Rings. Bill the Butcher.
Yeah.
Butcher.
I like him, but I feel like it's saying like you like Wolverine just because, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
I don't want to give the not the cliche answer, but like the safe answer. I want to say it's still Dewey. I can't. Sorry, I haven't seen the show in such a long time. Yeah, it's just fuck it, just Dewey. I feel like he had, at least for season 1, he had the biggest arc, but with the revelations of I feel like the Butcher has a story that's coming that's going to be awesome. But yeah. Starlight, I see, not Rogue, Anna Paquin. I think it's just the face, but it's like I don't know. She's growing on me, but because of Dewey, you know what I mean? No,
I don't like Starlight at all.
well, like I said, she's growing on me, but there's not.
Got it.
Dewey is like if you guys told me like, hey, we're superheroes, and it'd be me making like wisecracking jokes and like, why did you kill her, Stefan? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't know what the fuck is going on, and I'd be making wisecracks about it. That's how I feel like
Right.
Dewey would be me. Anybody else?
Esteban.
I think Cal Urban's character, Bill the Butcher, is actually pretty dope. He's cool. Homelander is dope too, but that's kind of like, it's like the obvious choices. You know what I mean? So for me, I really like Mother's Milk, the guy that plays Mother's Milk, The Deep, and Frenchie. Those are the three that I'm just kind of like, okay, cool. I like those. Like they seem like a bit more grounded. You know what I mean? Like it's but that's the thing. It's like for me, like growing up, I never followed like the main character. You know what I mean? Like that wasn't my favorite character. The main character was never my favorite character. You know, I was always the guy that's like, oh, who's your favorite Disney character? Everyone would say Mickey Mouse. I'm like Donald Duck. Donald Duck's the shit. You know,
Donald Duck is the shit.
Yeah, you know, and it's like, and that's the thing is that I always felt like Donald Duck had the like do it, like push him to the edge, see what happens, you know, like do it, I dare you, you know. But yeah, so I never really liked like the mainstream, you know, characters. You know, I always liked the side characters because I always thought that they had a more interesting storyline. You know, I thought they were cooler. They always gave them the cooler weapons, or the, you know, growing up and watching, you know, like my favorite cartoon growing up was Thundercats. Lionel was dope, like he was cool, but my favorite one was Panthro. You know, like, you know, to see him, and then if it was one of those things where it's like, oh, you know, if I was playing with my cousins and it's like, oh, let's play, you know, that, and you can be whoever you want, and someone else picked Panthro, then right behind him I'd end up picking Tigra. So it's just kind of like, you know, it's one of those, like I never really gravitated towards Lionel. Like, yeah, he had the sword and the shield and shit, but Panthro was fucking dope. Like he reminded me of Bruce Lee because he had the nunchucks and he was always like, you know, doing shit his own. And, you know, so I know I'm ranting, but long story short, like it's the Deep. The way I would categorize them would be Mother's Milk, the Deep, and then Frenchie.
Frenchie, thank you. That's the guy.
Yeah.
He won me over in season 2. That's who I was thinking about. I couldn't think of his name. Also, Lionel. Do you remember pressing a ring to his back and his eyes would light up?
No, not a ring. The action figure that I had, you had to push a button and his eyes would light up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I never got Lionel. I got Skeletor. Skeletor. No, not Skeletor. Thundra? Hydra? What the fuck is his name?
Panthro?
Tigra?
Mothra. Fucking
no,
you're off, dude.
The bad guy. Thundara? No, Thundara's where they lived.
Mumra?
Easy. Mumra. Like, you let me rant. You know the fucking answer. You just let me rant. I said Mothra.
No, I would never. I'm thinking, though, in season 3, we're going to get a little bit more backstory on Mother's Milk. At least I'd hope so. You know, because
Mother's Milk?
Huh?
Which one's Mother's Milk?
He was the guy that worked in the correctional facility with teens. And it's like he was very much like, no, I'm not helping you. No, I'm not helping you. No, I'm not helping you. And then all of a sudden he gets dragged into it.
Yeah. Okay.
And he's got a daughter, and I think it's like an either a wife or a girlfriend or an ex-wife or something like that. I want to see his development. You know what I mean? Like that's what I want to see. You know, but that's just me.
Andres, how about you?
Oh, am I allowed to talk now?
So sorry to interrupt. Proceed.
Kidding.
Wow.
Kidding. It's gonna be Homelander and Stormfront because I love Aya Cash, who's the actress that played Stormfront. So she's gonna have a special place in my heart. Yeah.
It's Stormfront the Nazi
girl.
Yeah.
Those were your two. Then season 2 is like your wet dream.
Well, since Aya Cash only came out, yeah.
What's the snake eyes looking motherfucker? What's his name?
Oh, Black Noir.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like his character because I like how he died.
His character's dope, but I'm just like, that's fucked up. They're like, give him an almond joy or some shit. He's got a peanut allergy. It's like, what the fuck? He's a superhero. Don't fucking like give him an almond joy. Like, what the fuck, man?
Enjoy your treat. You're about to die.
That's like me being a superhero, and then they're just like, fucking give him bread. He has a gluten allergy.
Pendejo.
Like, what the fuck, man? Give him milk. He's he's lactose intolerant. He's gonna have the shits for weeks. Fuck you, man.
Don't say milk and Homelander in the same sentence. Because that's very disturbing to me.
Disgusting.
So, I'm already disturbed by milk as it is, and then that scene. Oh, God, no.
When he uses laser vision to heat up the bottle.
No. I almost threw up in my mouth, but
it's like that audio that I don't know if you guys have heard that one TikTok audio where it's like the guy goes, excuse me, mommy, excuse me, mommy, I'm sorry, mommy. Like that's all I picture with him.
That's a very accurate sound for Homelander.
Right?
As far as my favorite characters, it would probably have to be, oh my god, what is her name? Kimiko?
Oh, she's dope.
Kimiko and Frenchie, I think, would be like my favorite characters from the show. So I like season 2 because their relationship. So I look forward to season 3, and I do hope that we get more backstory on the other characters that we didn't really have so much of a backstory for. We were thoroughly enjoying the show, and I could say, hopefully, and speak for all of us, that we're excited to get season 3 and be disturbed a little bit more, because I'm sure that we will.
No, for sure. And I don't know if it's like, for me, I just kind of feel like we're spoiled because it's like, the regular TV shows, the ones that are on like the major networks, you got your spring and your fall, premieres, you know what I mean? And then stuff like this, like on Amazon Prime, it's a yearly thing. It's just like, what the fuck, man? Like, that shit's fucking dope. Like, why do I have to wait a whole year? But that just comes down to fucking first world problems. That's all it does.
What's
cool about The Boys too is my uncle was very like work with your hands, work with like, but he that was one of those shows, and it's before I even got into it. I wouldn't say I got into the show until this show when we were gonna give reviews and stuff. And he was like, "Have you seen The Boys? I think you'd like it." And that was from my uncle, and I was like, "Oh, okay, I'll give it a try." But sometimes the story, it doesn't matter if it's a comic book movie. It's just the story, like Dark Knight. People like Dark Knight, but they don't like any other comic book movies.
Right.
Sometimes the story wins.
The story should win all the time.
You can't win!
All the time. In other news, Hellboy is rumored to have a TV series in the works. So it was, I believe it was stated by, oh my god, hold on one sec. Let me look at my notes. Okay, so it was announced that it might be a project. Sorry for the awkward pause, but I can't read that fast.
I never learned to read.
So it was announced that it was going to be, along with the series, that they're trying to expand on TV space. So it would be, along the works, would also be Expendables and Rambo and Has Fallen and Hellboy. So those are focuses that were films that they're now trying to develop into TV series. There isn't a talk of specifically what with Hellboy that would be brought to the TV series, but how do we feel about it?
Hellboy was one of my favorite movies. It really was. I think Ron Perlman played a fantastic Hellboy, both parts. Not saying that David Harbour didn't, because I saw that one because I'm a real big Hellboy fan. So it's just for that one, it came down with the writing. With the writing, and Mila Jovovich, I think she was very over the top when she, was doing her part in that movie. But seriously though, the Ron Perlman ones, those are it. Like that's I literally have to watch that movie at least once a year in order to get my Hellboy fix. But the sad part is that I know for a fact for a TV show, Ron Perlman's probably not going to reprise his role. Although he would love to. Not saying that he can't do it. The man is just he's up there in age. He can't. I don't think he can. He has another Sons of Anarchy in him. Where it goes on 10 seasons. You know what I mean? I don't think he has that in him. It would have to be someone else. And you know what? I mean, I think David Harbour did a fantastic job as Hellboy, you know, as the character Hellboy. But I don't know if I see anyone else playing Hellboy. You know what I mean? Like no one else comes to mind, you know, like Hellboy's one of those obscure characters where it's just kind of like you didn't know that you wanted it. And then you got it and you're like, well, I fucking love it. Like I want more, you know what I mean? So I'm super stoked about the Hellboy TV show. I hope it happens. But you know, that's just one nerd's opinion.
I'm drunk now.
Ash.
I both movies with Ron Perlman were gorgeous.
Happened. I quit. I'm done. Ow!
The bad guys were fucking. It was like Tim Burton. Like why can't I think of his fucking name?
Guillermo del Toro.
Thank you. I couldn't think of his name. They have a style where like it could all fit. It just have everybody has a story in their created worlds, and it was gorgeous. I can see like it was fucking gorgeous. But anyway, the new one that I saw with
David Harbour.
Thank you. I liked it, and I would say it was a little bit grittier. It wasn't as pretty as David. Why is he David Goyer? Del Toro's.
Ron Perlman. Oh yeah.
Well, I'll go with Ron Perlman, so I could say that easier. And then also I did like I'm a complete badass unless it's her, which was Selma Blair. You know what I mean? Like I don't give a fuck about anything, but I secretly do. Like he always played. I'm talking to you and sleeping. Gotcha. So I thought it was pretty. This one was a little bit grittier. I am indifferent to them doing a TV show, but a good idea would be in both movies, he went from baby Hellboy to grown man taking care of everything. Maybe if they did a, like Gotham Knights 1, like where he was learning how to take out these monsters and learning what type of monsters and their weaknesses, like maybe that could be cool, where it's just maybe even a different Hellboy every year. It's like and he's growing every 5 years or every 2 years or whatever the hell. That might be cool.
Of course, Stu. That is cool. Gotcha!
I mean, I don't know. It'd be weird if it's just like stay tuned next week. I don't know. It'd be cool if it was like an arc to everything. Like maybe first season he sucks at it, second season he's getting it, and by 3 or 4, like it's like Arrow, where now we're spinning off on it.
Andres, your thoughts?
I don't know. The guys pretty much expressed everything. I would be interested in watching it.
Do you have a preference whether it should be the TV series or another film instead?
I would say I would prefer TV series because they could actually flesh out storylines and get more deeper into characters. It looks like that would be the way to go now for like wanting to tell a longer story. So yeah, I would prefer that, but it also all depends on who they're going to cast to play the character. Are they going to do a complete rehash again? So it depends on stuff. But yeah, I would like the series and I would definitely watch. So yeah.
Gotcha. As for my opinion, I don't think I've seen the most recent one, but I've seen the older ones, which I really enjoyed. I thoroughly did enjoy. I don't know much about the characters nor the world of Hellboy, but so take my opinion for what it is. I would probably agree with Andres as far as usually TV series can expand on characters and build them. a little bit more than movies. So I'll go over that route. However, if you're gonna give me shit, like DC has been giving me shit with their stupid shows, so let's not even get started on that. Then I would probably say do a movie, but do a movie well written or well done. So hopefully they have good writers for the show if it does become a show, and we get some great stuff to watch. But moving on, also, I don't know why I'm pausing so much, guys. I'm so sorry. But Rogue Squadron, the movie by Patty Jenkins, is delayed. And there is no reason as to why it was delayed besides that Patty Jenkins just had some scheduling conflicts. A lot of people are rumored to say that it's because she's doing Wonder Woman 3, which I had no idea was in the works, but okay. Either way, if it's because we're going to take our time and actually doing a good movie, I'm all for it. Please delay it. Does this affect our opinions on the movie, or on, are you guys affected? Affected is not the right word. The fact that Patty Jenkins delivered the movie that was Wonder Woman 89, are we thinking, yes, Ash?
84.
Oh, 84, sorry. Yeah, sorry, I was thinking of my birth year, but whatever.
Throwing ageism in here. Okay.
We get it. We're old. We get it.
Old balls, gross.
Okay. I wasn't going there, but sure, I am the youngest crew member. Thank you. But does that affect you? Because I know we discussed Wonder Woman 84, and we all had a kind of not so positive things to say, not that they were very negative, but it could have been done better. Do we think that perhaps Rogue Squadron would be around the same, or are we hoping for better?
Yeah, I would hope for better than Wonder Woman 84, but I am not, because she did Wonder Woman 84 doesn't scare me for Rogue Squadron, if that makes sense. Like, yes, that was a miss in my book, but that doesn't necessarily mean that the next film she makes is going to be a miss as well. So whether I'm bummed that it's getting delayed, no. If it takes a delay to either get down a script or make Patty Jenkins happy to go ahead and do a good movie, I trust her regardless of Wonder Woman 84. So I hope that answered your question.
Okay. Ash?
I liked Wonder Woman 84. The only thing I didn't like was the woman that had the suit, spoiler alert, the suit before her took on a fucking army, and Kristen Wiig was tearing the same thing apart like super easy. That's the only problem I had with the movie. Other than that, I mean, they're not all going to be Dark Knight, right? You know what I mean? Or even Dark Knight Rises, I should say. Some people hated that movie, but they're not all going to be. Sometimes it just needs to get to the next step. I didn't hate the movie. That's the only thing that took me out was she took on a whole army of people with this suit, and this cheetah lady was taking out the suit like it was nothing, like it was paper. But that's the only issue I had. Rogue Squadron. Do we know if it's gonna like fit into this is what was happening during this era, or it's a thing on its own, or we don't know
it's
any of
supposed
that?
to be fitting into the universe, or the Star Wars universe that they're building. As to where in the universe it's fitting, there wasn't any talks about that, or at least to my knowledge, I don't know. So
you know how they referenced Rogue One, and then they did a movie on Rogue One, but they referenced it that's what I was wondering, if it was kind of like this is what was happening during It's a Trap, or like some whatever.
I'm sure that they'll connect to it at some point, or even on the shows that we're getting now, maybe there's perhaps been already alludes to it, and we don't know. I really don't know.
Okay. Well, anything Star Wars I'm in ever since I was a kid. So I just like, even if they talked about how Rogue Squadron began, or you know what I mean, like just little whatever. It doesn't have to be like it's just what was happening during Darth Vader. It doesn't have to be that. It just anything. You know, I don't know. It'd be cool.
Esteban, any thoughts on the delay of Rogue Squadron?
I feel the same way as everyone else. If the delay, makes everyone kind of tighten up the script a little bit and brings everything, as it gives everyone extra time, to kind of work on everything, I'm all for it. To me, it doesn't matter. Wonder Woman 84 had its flaws, but I don't think that takes away from what Patty Jenkins can do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As a director. I'm still stoked. I want to see it. I'm curious, like Ash was asking, where is it going to fit? I'm curious on where it's going to fit in the entire Star Wars universe. I think that's where I'm excited, and that's what I want to see. Is this going to be something years after, the Skywalker saga, or is this going to be somewhere in the Skywalker saga, or is this going to be prior? Like, that's what I want to know. That's what I'm interested in. I want to see that. Tell me where it lands in the timeline. If this is something that's going to be taking place kind of like Rogue One, cool. Now I know the timeline. If this is going to be its own separate story where it's past, the Skywalker saga, cool. Is it going to be, around the Mandalorian timeframe? Cool. I just want to know where, because yes, I am one of those that wants to speculate and assume certain things. I want to.
You're like, I'm building the connections already.
Right. It's like how dope would it be if Rogue Squadron, the fucking Mandalorian shows up in Rogue Squadron? How dope would that be? Stuff like that. And I think that's what gets the imagination going, is trying to find out where it lands in the timeline, and just kind of like, it would be dope if this happened, it would be amazing if this happened. But the cool thing is that going back to the Mandalorian, no one fucking thought, like, how dope would it be if Luke Skywalker showed up? I
didn't even know where it fit into it until that. Like, oh, that's where they're at. Like, you know what I mean?
No, yeah, and that's the thing, is that Mandalorian was supposed to take place like a few years after Return of the Jedi. And that's the thing. It's just kind of like, like knowing, and that's the thing, is that like knowing that it took place a few years after Return, it's like no one put two and two together. Like, fucking, we can see somebody from the original, trilogy. Like, how fucking dope would that be if we saw that? No one thought of it. At least I didn't. But yeah, I mean, fucking take all the time you need. Just make it right. You haven't missed on Star Wars yet. Just do it. Make it right.
I did like.
Go ahead, Ash.
That we got to see Luke, because when we saw Luke, even in the last one, it was like wang wang. Like, we finally got to see Luke the way we saw like Obi-Wan. Like, he's fucking fighting everybody, and then all of a sudden he could just stop and crush this motherfucker. Like, I was like, it connected the dots for me that Luke became like that Jedi, like the Jedi that, you know what I mean? And that was the fucking coolest. Not to mention the side by side when you see Vader walk in through the fucking.
Oh, yeah.
And, that side by side, was amazing.
Beautiful. Chef's kiss.
Absolutely, 100%.
It pays to be a nerd, because you also want to know where it is in the storyline, because you want to build on what you already know. You don't want to fucking reboot. You don't fucking want like all that bullshit. You just you want it to fit in your story, you know, like, you know what I mean? And that's
your narrative. Yeah.
fucking amazing.
I'm drunk now.
Sorry. I just love that stuff. I know we talked about Luke the last week, but like that was my like clincher. Like fucking I was watching it not knowing who it was. And I was like, when he fucking crushed that motherfucker in the corner, I was like, this guy's fucking dope. And it didn't make sense to me until he took it down. Then I was all,
oh, so you completely missed the part where you saw the glove.
Andres was talking about how he saw R2 on the ship, and I was like, no, okay. Yeah. Like I just thought it was
when he was
it didn't
landing.
make sense to me. In fact, I
missed the whole R2 thing.
In New Hope, it went from him traveling the world to like all of a sudden they just gave him an X-Wing. Like, oh, so what's up? Oh, this is my cousin. Give him an X-Wing. Like, what the fuck? Do you know what I'm saying? Like it sounded weird.
Yeah.
Like I showed up to your house and then I could take one of your cars.
No, for sure. But it's story development. I think we're spoiled with story development now at this age. We're spoiled with story development, you know, compared to what it was then, you know. But yeah, I see what you're saying. You know, it's like, you know, I knew this guy. Oh, just fucking give him an X-Wing. You know, I get
right?
What you're saying.
Yeah,
you know, cool. I get what you're saying.
No, dog, he's cool. Give him an X-Wing.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, yeah. But like when Andres was saying like, oh, that was fucking R2, like I didn't even see that. Like legit, all I saw was a fucking X-Wing. I didn't see R2 there.
Exactly.
What got me was his glove where he used the Force and you saw the glove and I'm like, no fucking way, dude. And that was it there for me.
See, but the thing is, too, is you guys know so many characters that are like, oh, that guy has the patch over his left eye. That's fucking. I was gonna say Left Eye from TLC, but I don't want to make a joke of that. You know what I mean? You know, you guys know characters like, oh, that's canon and it's in. So I didn't know, like, once you saw the glove, like it could be painfully that simple. I thought it was gonna be like there's a Darth Maul with 8 legs out there and we haven't seen him yet. You know what I mean? Like.
That's kind of only stuff. Darth Maul, bro.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only Darth Maul.
Okay, but that's what I'm saying. No. Well, that's what I'm saying. There's a version that people don't know because they weren't reading paperback. That's so what I'm saying.
Angry.
No, God damn it.
In a way, I wish I kind of didn't know so that I could be as surprised as you were, because just hearing you talk about it, you know, and don't get me wrong, I was just as legitimately surprised and I loved it for what it was. But there's like the not knowing aspect and then seeing the reveal when he takes off the hood, that I could see how that would be a different type of excitement, because then you just make that connection. You're like, oh, I didn't see the glove, or I didn't see the X-Wing, or I didn't see R2. Like, that's pretty, yeah.
It had to do with watching it at 5 o'clock in the morning, but none of it
also
really took it down. Because again, it didn't make sense of where everything was. I didn't know, you know, like Boba Fett was like gritty and he's all fucking shite. Like none of it made sense. I didn't even know Mandalorian was like a fucking religion or whatever we want to call it, like a military, whatever we want to call it. Somebody's fucking crapping their pants right now, yelling at me. But I didn't know it was like there was. I thought Boba Fett when in Jabba's thing, there was bounty hunters. So I thought that was my bounty hunter outfit, and we're all good.
Right.
There's that fucking guy with the weird ass head. But so I thought everybody was just, and that was his little uniform. So once there was multiple, like I didn't know where this fit into the. So it was amazing. I don't know. That fucking shit was awesome. I just thought it was somebody cool that he was calling down on the rock that was coming to save him, and it was like if you're talking Fast and Furious, you're calling fucking Vin Diesel to come save you. You know what I mean? Family. Like it's just it's like that to me. I didn't know. I thought they were introducing a new character when they put him when they pull it down, and it was fucking all Robert Downey Jr. all watching his parents argue, all CGI. I'm young again. I was all
right. Yeah.
Complete attention, and then Mandalorian having to fucking give up the kid, like woo. The feels, boy. That was awesome. Like you've been protecting this motherfucker this whole time. It's your kid. Like,
you cry.
I'm almost gonna cry right now. Like that's my shit. I don't know. Sharing is caring.
I like it. I like the enthusiasm, and I share it with you. But moving on from Star Wars, the next topic is having to do with Henry Cavill. And
Mandalorian is the big daddy of Star Wars.
It really is. At this point, it really is.
Big daddy, like,
yeah,
I don't want this kid.
It really is.
I love this kid. Sorry. That's the last interruption.
You're good.
No,
you're good.
Liar.
Okay, so Henry Cavill. Henry Cavill had an interview, and it was rumored that either he would be interested on playing Captain Britain for Marvel, and he would also like to return as Man of Steel 2. Do we have a preference on either, or do we want both?
Are you using AOL? Did you get like the free 8 hours?
Oh my God, I'm sorry. Is that bad?
Did you get the free?
My bad.
You've got mail.
Yes, I put in the disc earlier. I did. You're about to hear the sound.
Tell them to hang up the phone so you can be on the podcast.
Okay, give me a second. I'll be right back. But please tell us your thoughts.
I was too busy.
Go, Ash.
Fun. I don't know what
you
go, Ash.
Give us your thoughts.
I don't know what I was.
Oh
too
my
busy
God, are you
the AOL
serious?
thing.
Are you serious?
He wasn't paying attention to the question.
Because you were distracted by my poor connection.
She was like max headroom right now.
I'll go ahead.
Go, Andres.
If I had my choice, I would take both. But if I had to choose one in specific, I would rather have Man of Steel 2. Just because I don't believe he got his fair shake. So I would very much love him to still be the Superman, I guess. But I would enjoy seeing him in Captain Britain, especially since that's a mutant and they bring the X-Men then at that point into the Marvel universe. Esteban, what do you think?
I want to be spoiled. I want to see him in both. Like legit, I really want to see him in both because I, like you, Andres, feel that he was I think he got the short end of the stick when it came down to Man of Steel. He deserves a sequel, whether it's against Brainiac, whether it's against the Lex Luthor, whether it's against Metallo. It doesn't matter. He deserves a sequel. I'd love to see him as Captain Britain because then we see, like you were saying, the mutants. And if a lot of people don't know, if I'm not mistaken, Captain Britain's sister is actually Psylocke. So I'd love to see that.
I did not know that.
Yeah, just to see the opening of the mutants and stuff like that. I'd love to see that. So yes, I want to be spoiled and I want to see both. Ash.
I was kind of even thinking, what if we saw him as Superman in the DC universe, but a bad guy like Kraven in Marvel? So that way you never, like, if you give him Captain Britain, the way Marvel's going to do it, he's going to be Captain Britain for the next 12 years. You know what I mean? Like, I just would rather, I don't even say would rather, because if he definitely deserves, for lack of a better word, a franchise, especially since they're backing The Witcher on him, and he's a great actor, phenomenal actor, and he is a franchise player. Like Hugh Jackman, like there's Ryan Reynolds, like there's some people that are there for the paycheck, and there's some people that are there because I am that motherfucking character. I will say, Man of Steel 1 had to win me over, but I think they were trying to give us General Zod because that's Superman 1 was cool, but we all know General Zod. We only quote Kneel before Zod. We don't quote Superman 1. None of that. From even though that was my Superman. So I think they try to give us too early, but it's what I asked about last week. Sometimes it's just the writing, sometimes it's the studios, but you have the right cast and they blame the actor. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna lie. The first day I was at work and I heard Ben Affleck was Batman, and I just thought it was gonna be another Adam West, not as cheesy, but if you get a motherfucker that's so dedicated, like Ryan Reynolds to Deadpool, Ben Affleck was to Batman before he gave up. It's the love we have for the character when the character plays the character.
I don't think he
Let's
necessarily.
be real. Like when Michael Caine played Alfred, that was just another character. It wasn't the guy that's always wanted to play Alfred or just to be a part of Batman. You're getting a high caliber character, Alec McGuinness to Star Wars. You're getting to give it clout and credit. And he didn't accept that shit until like, hey, Star Wars took off. And then he was like, yeah, Star Wars for sure. Like even then he was kind of more like, I'd rather do Beyond Broadway. I'd rather do Hamlet. But like it wasn't till that. But you have Mark Hamill that like, yeah, I'm Luke Skywalker, bitch. That's the reason I love Michael Keaton. Michael Keaton wasn't Batman forever. No pun intended. Wasn't Batman forever, but would do college speeches when I say I'm Batman. You know what I mean? I don't know. When people love their character that much, I'd rather give them the chance than to give it to somebody else that's like a paycheck.
No, for sure. But I mean, to your point, saying that, and I'm not, for you to say that Ben Affleck gave up, I don't feel that he gave up. Like he was dealing with a lot of shit going on, which caused him to start drinking, which is why he went into rehab, which is why, he attributes that to his marriage completely failing with Jennifer Garner. So it's just one of the, so I don't think he necessarily quit or gave up on it. I feel he was dealing with a lot of stress that came down from the studio, not letting him do essentially what he wanted to do when he was trying to write and direct and act in his own Batman film.
But I think his vision would have been like, look at Argo, look at the town. Like, it would have been amazing.
Trust. I would love to see a Ben Affleck directed, acted, written fucking Batman movie. I would love to see that based off of Argo, the town and shit like that. Fuck yeah, dude. Of course. Absolutely. One person tell me that they would not want to fucking see that. But I just feel that it's just one of those things where it's just like with the pressure that came down with the studio saying, Ben, you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to do this, you got to do that, trying to follow to the letter what the studio, who's essentially signing your paychecks to, he bowed out because it was too much stress. He saw that it was, and ultimately it drove him to rehab. It fucking lost his wife and his family at the time, but I mean,
see, the studio fucking,
but to be honest,
Marvel, it's on you, and they fucking made millions, and they.
But still,
I'm talking about
really
Marvel.
Think that
Marvel, like it's like nerds. Here's your money. Fit in a Pizza Hut commercial in the middle. Like other than that, nerds handle
for sure,
right? And studios are like, let's do what they did, but not do what they did, but do what they did, but not do what they did. It's
but do what they did,
right? But not. You know what I mean? Like, okay, they
with a little bit.
This, so then let's start off with Justice League. Fuck, we always get into this. I like the cast so much that I just want them to do a good movie with it instead of
Garbage.
giving us some Disney fucking character and making it a W. What? She's the host. Giving us some CW fucking shit and making it the Vampire Diaries instead of just leave it to people. The Kevin Smiths, they
try to give it to Kevin Smith. No. And that's the thing, is that they try to give it to Kevin Smith. Kevin Smith tried to write a Superman movie, tried to do a Batman movie. And you know what happened? The studio didn't want to do it. Why? Because they associate him to dick and fart jokes. That's why.
You got to get your foot in the fucking door.
If anyone is willing to go ahead and yes, sir, yes, ma'am, yes, sir, yes, ma'am, it's Kevin Smith. I'm telling you right now.
Absolutely. It's the same thing we talked about when we Kevin Smith versus fucking Bruce Willis. Like, you know what I mean?
Bro, don't even get me started on that bullshit because Bruce Willis is a fucking asshole.
I agree. Right. He makes movies that I love, but I don't know what the fuck they have to bend over backwards to do it. But anyway, yeah. You got to,
man. I've been drinking whiskey.
We're still on Rogue Squadron. What happened?
No, we're not. We're not on Rogue Squadron.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
Look at me, not freezing anymore.
I've been drinking.
I think she was making fun of me, but you're good.
Andres
hasn't said a goddamn word, and I'm gonna get a text.
I know. I'm waiting.
Andres hasn't said anything, and he's smiling.
Any thoughts on Henry Cavill, Andres?
Oh, I already gave my thoughts.
Oh, just kidding. Love that.
Andres wants it. He wants it bad too.
You know what I would have loved too? Batman versus Superman. Like Batman.
Kind of like how comics ended up putting together how Batman loves Superman. Yeah. Me too.
No, just, like
our highest
Batman
video.
Take out Batman at any time. It would have been cool. Like kind of like, I don't want to hurt you. Like, you know what I mean? Like kind of a whatever. I don't know. There could have been a better way for that, but it's all good.
Moving on. Have any of you guys seen The Eternals?
No, not yet. Andres and I were talking about that earlier today.
Not yet.
What's up, Ash?
Are you guys down?
When though?
You guys have kids. I don't. Like whenever you're a Thursday at not Thursday because we're doing record. Wednesday at whatever. Like it's up to you guys. That'd be cool. Like Comix goes. I know I'm talking backstage shit, but it'd be cool.
I mean, I'm down. But it's got to be like one of those like when. I need to know time frame.
So while they set that up amongst themselves later and tell us all about their experience together watching the movie, I'll tell you that
calm your shit.
You saw it? Oh, that's right. You did tell us you saw it. My bad.
You did?
No, you're fine. I won't spoil anything, but my only thought about this movie is that it should have been split. I think that there's a lot more that could have been done. And then we'll just touch base on what your guys' thoughts are once you do see it. I do like the fact that they talk about some mythology that hadn't before in Marvel. And so that opens possibility for other characters, which I am excited about. And it's kind of stories that we're familiar through history as well. So that's exciting. We obviously know Black Knight, right?
Oh, yeah.
That project is coming. So it hints to that and other mythology. So yes. sorry, I'm thinking about what I could say that won't ruin your guys' experience when you watch it. I will say.
Same time, man. I don't know you. Same time.
Yeah,
which one of you will say?
Oh. The end credit scenes have already been spoiled for me, so I already know about the end credit scenes.
Gotcha. Do the two of you, have you heard?
Oh, have you not heard? It was my understanding that everyone had heard. Heard what? Brian, don't! Oh, well, bird.
Cool.
No,
So we'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
But the thing that I was gonna reference earlier, I don't know how I feel about Angelina Jolie's performance in the movie. So I won't spoil anything, but you guys let me know what you guys think about the movie and about everyone's portrayal of their characters. So to another movie that was released recently, Dune. Have most of you watched Dune?
Dune was fucking perfect.
Ash, have you?
Zune?
Dune, bro.
Oh, no.
D-U-N-E, Dune.
The last thing I saw was Venom 2. So
Dune's on HBO Max.
For free?
Yes. You don't have to pay for it.
When you say yes, I have to do the Home Alone 2. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes! The Stellar got it. Thank you. Anyway, yes, I will watch that shit. Including the butthole. I will watch the butthole. That sounded weird to say out loud. But I will watch the butthole.
We are sure you are watching the butthole.
I'm telling you, that fucking sandworm fucking culo.
Oh my god. So for those of us that have watched it, any thoughts? I know you already said a 7 that it's truly amazing, which I think that both me and Andres agree with you in that regard. Tell us what you did like about the movie without any spoilers, I guess.
I love the world building. The world building is fantastic. Oscar Isaac and Josh Brolin being in there, their roles were fantastic. You know, just and that's one of the things. It's like I remember watching Dune, the 1984 version, with my dad, and you know, obviously, you know, it was one of those movies that was way before its time. You know, obviously the graphics weren't what they were, you know, now. But I'm just the world building, and to know for a fact that this story is 15 books long, you know, just to know the world of Arrakis and to know the world or the House of Atreides and you know, to know the Emperor and to know all this stuff, it blows my mind. And I think that's actually dope because it falls in line with Game of Thrones, you know, to create such a world where it has multiple houses.
Both your houses.
And very medieval. And it's just its own thing. It's fantastic. I love it, you know. But the one thing that will not get away from me, and that I me personally, that I think it's funny, is that it's very futuristic. But the characters' names, it's just kind of like, okay, it's supposed to be super, like, because I know that the world was built in a futuristic time or a futuristic realm, I'm expecting Star Wars-esque names, you know, Qui-Gon Jinn, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Darth Maul, Anakin Skywalker, things like that.
We're not expecting your average Paul.
Yeah, our main character's fucking name is Paul. And I'm like, Paul? All right, cool, whatever. But it was just one of those things that, like, slightly, I mean, like, fucking minutely took you out of the movie, or just like, this is a futuristic movie and fucker's name's Paul. Okay, cool. You know, like, you've got fucking the planet Arrakis, and His name's Paul. All right, cool. Let's go with that. Thank you very much, Paul. But overall, I give that fucking movie a fucking 9 out of 10. And the only reason why I give it a 9 out of 10 is because I know there's more coming. And I'm sad that I didn't get the whole experience for all these movies, just like in the original one. So,
is it a reboot or is it a continuation?
I would call it a reimagining.
Reimagining.
Yeah.
That's what I would call it. I would call it a reimagining.
Andres, any thoughts on Dune?
Yeah, I loved it very much. I know that one of the complaints that the movie got was that it was too slow, which I understand but don't agree with. It wasn't too slow for me, and like Stefan said, it was building on a world that we're going to see more movies on later on. But I love, so yeah, I understand that, but I don't agree with it. But the pacing was good, the acting was good, the portrayals, like someone said, Oscar Isaac was good. Timothy Chalamet, I thought, did a great job in it. Would like to have seen more of Zendaya, but I guess we're gonna see her later on in part 2 since it was already greenlit. The ending, I wouldn't say left me wanting more out of that movie, but yes, I wanted to jump into the next film, so it was interesting. I guess I'll put it that way, how it ended.
Is it good enough that if they didn't do another movie, you're okay?
No, it needs
no.
more.
Okay. Yeah, it needs more. Yeah, and it definitely needs more. And it's funny because like when I was trying to explain to my wife Dune, because she was in the same room while I was watching it, and I was like explaining the whole thing, or trying to explain the whole thing to her. And I know she's not a real big sci-fi buff, which is fine, no big deal, whatever. I know she likes her style of movies and stuff like that. So it's like one of those movies where it's like I knew I was going to watch by myself, which is great. It's fine, whatever, But the mere fact where it's like I'm trying to explain it, and it's like I feel like I need to rewatch it. So because I feel that I didn't explain it properly. As far as like the spice and why they're going to Arrakis and why this house and why that, like, why are they doing this? I kind of feel like I missed a lot of bullet points when I'm like just trying to explain to someone else, I think the one thing that I liked was how Paul's mom referred to the voice. Like that shit's dope. Like the voice is dope. You know what I mean? And the only thing that I can compare it to is like dad voice. Like, oh fuck, dad's mad. It's like just doing that. Like I think that's fucking dope. Like I think I like that part. That part's dope. And like his mom trying to teach him like, oh, you're not finding the right pitch, or you're forcing it, or this or that. I think it's fucking dope. I loved it. I legit want more. Fucking Dune. I really do. Forget the Willy Wonka movie that Timothy Chalamet is doing. Give me more Dune. I want Dune.
Back to Dune.
Go back to Dune. I go back to Dune. But I agree with Andres. I feel that Zendaya should. You can tell.
Doing a Willy Wonka movie.
No, I know.
No, you just reminded me of that. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, it's like I feel like Zendaya moving forward. If we end up getting the 3, 4, 5 movies of Dune that we're supposed to be getting or whatever, I'm not expecting fucking 15 movies and shit, per book. But it's just like one of those things where it's like we end up getting 5 films. That would be fucking dope. But I think Zendaya is going to play a massive role in the coming films. And that's what I want to see. you know, and it's like there's certain things that like that end up throwing you off, like at the very beginning, and you're just like, oh, it's going to be like this, or like, oh, it's going to spoil what's going to end up happening in later on in the movie. It doesn't. It's fucking dope. I loved it. I loved every moment of it, aside from the asshole sandworms.
I think I read an article that the director Denis Villeneuve only wanted to make 3 films, or he said he wanted to make 3 films of it. So I don't know if we're going to get anything past that. And Timothy Chalamet is already like 23 on this one, and he was playing like 15.
True, so, very true.
I don't know how long he could keep making movies for Paul Atreides.
Yeah.
He does have a young face, so he might get away with it for a little while. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, yeah, because what's it called? Tobey Maguire was in his early 30s playing a teenager for Spider-Man, if I'm not mistaken. So, you know, yeah, to your point, Carmen, it's like, yeah, he's got a really young face, so there's a possibility that he can do something like that. I don't know if you guys saw, there's a part in the movie where like everyone loved, you know, and it's not a major spoiler. It's not a major spoiler, but it's just one of those things where it's just like you hear it and you're just like, oh, I wish my parents were like that. Or, oh, I wish my dad would tell me shit like that. Or I wish my mom would tell me shit like that. You know what I mean? And you know, there's a specific part in there. And again, it's not a spoiler or anything like that. There's a part in there where Oscar Isaac's talking to, you know, Timothy Chalamet. Thank you. And he's telling him like, look, like, you know, I know like my dad told me that I was going to receive the call to be king or to rule, you know, our home, to take up my place, you know, and he shows him the ring and he goes, you know, he says, it's going to be your time for that call to come. And if you say no, then the only thing that you'll end up ever being is my son that's always, and when I first heard that, I was like, oh, fucking why? You know, it's just one of those things where and I know it kind of blew up on the internet, you know, people saying like, oh, I wish my dad would tell me shit like that, or oh, I wish my family members would tell me shit like that. And just to hear it, you know, you're just kind of like, all right, that's cool. Like, I'll tell my kids that. Like, that shit's fucking dope. Like, that's cool, you know? So, Dune's dope.
Oh
my God.
Shut up.
You know I love you. You're good, man. I have that too. I have all that. But even when we started the conversation, I'd be
like halfway in. I'm halfway in, and
you were me last
to
week.
The top. I am.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a bad morning, homie.
Is it though? We'll see.
All right.
Text me later.
I am excited to have the sequel to the part 1, just because I know this is just the first book that was cut into 2 pieces. So, as you asked earlier, Ash, if it could just stand on its own, it definitely could not. We definitely need the second part. It did wonderful things about how, as Evan said, world building. And the cinematography also, it was great. I don't know, like the set designers, A+ on what they came up with. The props, I loved everything about it. The music also, Hans Zimmer did the music, so that was amazing. As I said in the group chat, I watched this movie more than one cares to admit. Mm-hmm. And I didn't think it was one of those movies where we had talked about the preview and how awesome it was, you know, and then as you log on to HBO, it's still like, watch Dune or whatever. And I was like, you know what? I have some time. It's like Friday night. I'm not doing anything. I don't have plans. Let me put it on. Mm-hmm. And then next thing you know, I was like fully into the movie, and I started it about maybe like 11. So it went into like good hours in the morning. So I was like stuck to the TV for a good while, just like this. And even my sister came back from one of her games. She was like, "What are you watching?" And I was like, "It's good." I'm like, "You should watch it. It's pretty good." And then the next morning, I also watched it after some edible, which then made me appreciate totally the scenes and the music with it. I know, total stoner thing to say, but it was great. And then one thing I will talk about that is no spoiler of anything, the fight scenes. They were choreographed amazingly. Mm-hmm. No spoiler alert, but it was beautiful. Like it's just such a beautiful movie. Also, the fact that we got little snippets of the different like warrior cultures. Oh my God, what are they called? The ones that talk with their throat? Sardukars, right? They seem intimidating. AF. So the fact that we're gonna get to learn more about them, and as you said, like just get to know the houses, the different houses, even the Deseret and the vision. You know, like there's like a golden plan and like what that is and how they've been able to achieve that plot also as well. How and his mom is also a common name, Jessica, which is like seriously. That's such a common name, but to your point, I also agree that their names are kind of weird. That they were
Lady Jessica, I think her name was.
Yeah. So I like her character. I like the connection that they build between her and Paul. And everything that happens in the movie is great. So if you guys haven't seen it, please go watch it. You will definitely not regret it. To Andres' point earlier that a lot of people complain that it's at a slower pace, it is, but it's in a way kind of building up to what you're gonna get later. You know what I mean? Like enjoy the ride because it's a slow one, but it's a very well worth the wait ride. So for those of you, again, that haven't seen Dune, please go watch it and then tell us about it. Like Ash will probably do and would love by the next time we talk about it. Right?
It's my timing, so probably give us like 3 more shows, and I'm like, have you guys seen Dune? And you guys are already over it. So that's probably gonna be what happens.
Well, you better hurry up because November 12th is Disney Plus Day, and Shang-Chi is going to drop on Disney Plus. So, yeah, dog.
We're working on Black Widow.
You better hurry up.
You haven't finished Black Widow?
I started Black Widow.
What?
It's free now. Just fucking watch it. You work from home, right?
We talked about for 2.5 hours how spoiled we are. I will get to it.
Get to it then.
I will. She frozen?
I think she is.
Yep. As she's talking shit too, like all day long. All day long.
Did you guys see the?
It's weird that they're doing the Zendaya. Did I say it wrong?
Yeah, it's Zendaya, not Zendaya.
Sorry, that's the kicker for the Rams, right?
Yeah.
My bad.
No, bro, that's
Zendaya is not the kicker of the Rams.
No.
I went to a restaurant called Zendeja's, and they were the kicker of the Rams. It was a brother or the cousin of the
No.
Oh, okay. Oh, because you're a Ram fan. There's not a kicker on the Zendeja's. What? There's not a kicker on the Zendeja's?
No, there's not.
Where the fuck did I go?
I don't know where the fuck you went.
I think you're wrong. I think I know the Raiders. I think I know the Rams better than you.
I highly doubt that.
I highly doubt that too. As soon as it came out of my mouth, I was like, "No, bro, this is not going to be good."
Because when it always comes out of your mouth, it shouldn't be a good thing.
That's hey, right here she goes.
So
Yes,
Hi.
here I am. Hi.
Dish.
Hello. So for the last topic of the night, super quick, do you guys believe Tom Holland saying that Andrew Garfield and oh my God, Tobey Maguire will not be showing up?
No, he's a fucking liar.
Is he trying really hard to lie to us?
Yeah, he's trying. I think he's trying really hard. And the only reason why is because I read an article. The person that ended up sending out those tweets with the screenshots on there, his name's John Campia.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I don't know if you guys ended up reading this. He ended up sending out those. Oh, you did? Okay, perfect, Carmen. So essentially what ended up happening, he sent out those tweets, okay, because he ended up receiving 4 screenshots, okay. He sent out the ones that we saw that were put out there. And if you guys didn't see it, if I were you guys, just fucking stay away from those, okay. I saw them. I'm sure, Carmen, you saw them. You know, if anybody else saw them, stay away from them. Okay, don't watch them, because if you're hoping you want to be surprised for a film, then go in being surprised. Don't look for the shit. Just go watch it on December 17th when the movie comes out. It's
about to be literally a month.
Exactly. We're almost a month away from that film dropping. Be surprised, enjoy it, and stuff like that. I saw them already. Okay, and the article that I read, John Campia dropped those tweets, okay? And then he says, according to him, no more than 5 minutes later, he gets a call from Sony. And they ask him, where did you get those from? Well, he doesn't reveal his sources because he's a reporter, so he's not going to reveal his sources. Where did you get those from? He goes, I can't tell you. Well, are they real? He asked the Sony representative, are they real? He goes, you know what? And the Sony representative says there's a high possibility that those images are real.
Why would he even give him that?
Huh?
Why would he even give him that?
Because it's sensitive material. So, and then what he ends up doing, but obviously because of the world of the internet, you know, he goes in and he tries to delete them successfully. He deletes them, but it's already too late at that point.
They're already out.
They're already out. And that's the thing, is that once you post on the internet, it's over. It's done. It doesn't matter. You know, you wait 30 seconds, you wait 5 minutes, it doesn't matter. It's over.
Remember that.
Someone's going to take a screen grab. 100%. Remember that. Whatever you post on the internet, whether it's 30 seconds or 5 minutes that you end up posting it and then deleting it, someone's already screen grabbed it. So, but still, it's not one of those things where it's like, I saw it and it didn't really spoil anything for me, because I kind of felt like I was in the boat where it's like, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Whatever. No big deal. But in the back of my mind, it's like, how could it not happen? You know what I mean? In that same article that was when John Campia was interviewed, he said because he received 4 images, he goes, those aren't the ones that he posted, aren't the juiciest ones. There's still 2 more where it blew his mind, you know, completely. So there's more to it. The one thing that I do believe is Tom Holland saying that, yeah, this is not it's not going to be a quote unquote fun film. People are going to be sad and it's going to be a rough film. So that I do believe that. What's going to happen? Yeah, I have my speculations, but you know, I'll wait and see. Honestly, to your question, Andres, from earlier, I think that movie is going to be the movie that I end up breaking COVID to go to the movies to go watch. Is that one? So that's my opinion.
I really think that was Tom Holland trying to do like repair damage, because we know Tom Holland as like the spoiler, you know, and that's like what he's known for. So he's like, you know, like if you say this, they're gonna totally listen to you or whatever. So it's like total control of trying to repair the narrative that was there. But
right,
yeah,
but
stay
still,
away from the images, as Esteban said. Sorry, Didn't mean to cut you off. Just be surprised. Do we not want that anymore? You know, like, do we have to know everything?
It's a very true. And that, like, for me, like when I saw the Eternals, you know, the spoilers for the Eternals, and I saw that, and for the Eternals, it's a whole different thing. Okay. For the Eternals, for a lot of people that didn't know, it was spoiled by certain people that were invited to the red carpet to see the premiere. Okay, they ended up spoiling it, you know, and these are people that have never been to a red carpet before. They received their fame on TikTok. You know, they were invited, you know, they ended up, you know, going to the show, they saw it, whoever it was fucking tweeted it, you know, and it fucking broke the internet. It broke the internet. So for that one, like the Eternals, something that I'd never known, you know, as far as story-wise, seeing or finding out that the end credit scenes for the Eternals, like, yeah, that kind of broke my heart. You know, I saw it and I read about it, and unfortunately it took the fun out of it. So like Carmen was saying, it's like, if you guys want to go in surprised, stay away from whatever spoilers that come from Spider-Man No Way Home. Stay away from them like the fucking plague. Don't research them. Don't try to find them. Don't try to find the leaks. Going surprised and enjoy the film. Enjoy the film. That's the biggest thing that I would say, and I'm sure everyone on the show would agree with, is just enjoy the film as a fan. Do that. Make that your Christmas gift to yourself. Cheers.
Ash?
Some of that, like, let's say, like, like comicbook.com can give a fuck about your feelings because they post that shit the day
for
of.
Sure.
I would say they maybe don't do it prior, but pretty much day of, like, hey, Namer's in the new X-Men. Like, you're fucked if you don't see it at midnight Thursday and it's 5 a.m. Friday. You're fucked. They do that, but props to them because that's how we have content. But it's hard to stay. It's like you have to stay away from fucking all social media. You can't just go on. It's hard. It's so hard because we share shit. They share shit. If we see, it's come to the point where, like, hey, blah 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 has passed on. We don't believe it until we see it 8 more times shared by other reputable people. Like, oh, blah 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 is gonna be the new Blade. Okay, cool, bro. And then all of a sudden, it's comic book news, and it's fucking E-Bomb's world, and it's fucking TMZ, and then it's like, oh, okay, then it's real. So
for sure,
it's hard to ask people to stay away from. It could be us. We're part of the nerd culture where we're not going to share that shit till even discussing it on the show as we've done today. Like, we still don't give shit away, even though they have a week from even us talking about it now. It's there's people that just want clicks. They just want on to the next.
Sure.
Which is understandable. I mean, because they build their market, you know, in that way, or their audience. That's what they expect from them. But like, for us, that we know, like, if I don't want to know what this movie is about, like, I'm not even going to look at you know, like, I'm not going to scroll through Instagram or whatever. Like, when Luis graciously sent us that, like, stay away from social media. It's going to get spoiled. It's already out. Like, watch it as soon as you can. Like, I appreciate those warnings because then, like, I'm not going to log on to Instagram and start scrolling because I know it's going to be ruined, and I'd rather watch it than it be ruined by scrolling. As far as, like, what we got with the end of Eternals, I honestly, like, I had no idea. It wasn't ruined for me. I was sitting in the movie and I watched it, and it was a total surprise to me. So then I was like, oh, you know, like, I enjoy that because it again, it gives you that feeling of when you just go and enjoy a movie at a movie theater and are surprised, and there's that wow factor. But again, I avoided scrolling through Instagram because I knew that it was going to be talked about. So with this images for Spider-Man No Way Home, it's like, I mean, it's okay, stay away from it. Do you really want to know that badly? I'm sure that if we've talked about it, we speculated, you probably can think of what's coming. Like, just let it surprise you. That's the beauty of fucking movies. Yes.
It's weird before even filming. Hey, Andrew Garfield's a part of it. Hey, fucking Tobey Maguire's a part of it, and that's what gained the interest. And it's weird that now the over the rainbow is like, we don't know if they're gonna be like the way they gained our fucking interest is them. And now they're trying to get our interest. Like, are they in? Like, fuck.
Like you already done fucked up because first of all, you announced it early on.
Right.
Like this may be a possibility casting, and they may show up. Blah blah blah. But now you're like
telling us
no.
Back. It's gotten to the point where if they're not in it, you fucked yourself.
Yeah, for sure.
Because now you let us all down. Because that's the way you gauged us all.
Yeah.
Fucking one of our, not even our first episodes, but one of our earlier episodes, way earlier, was like, we had fucking Andrew Garfield. We may have Tobey Maguire, but now Tobey Maguire is saying no, but it's after fucking he was seeing that. Like, we already know, and that's what those are the pebbles you gave us. So, if it's not, you're fucking everybody over.
You're just gonna piss off people. That's all you're gonna do.
Yeah, because you use that to get us involved, and now it's like, no, they're not. Like, no, okay.
Or it's like, how did you find out? You fucking told us last week, man.
Did you forget?
Yeah,
dude. And we're gonna see other people because of fucking other endings, and it's gonna be a whole thing. So let's just fucking knock it off. I'm not saying fucking spoil shit. I'm just saying
yes or no.
Yeah, it's like tomorrow DC goes like Michael Keaton's not in it, not in Flash. Like, what the fuck are you talking about, bro? You've been
like, I got like fucking 12 articles that say that he just finished.
I saw him in the outfit yesterday.
Yeah,
it's in the trailer. Who told you? Your trailer?
Along those lines, and just because this is what we talk about mostly, or we cover a lot on our show, do we really prefer for castings to be broadcasted like that? But if it's going to be a role where it may be a surprise, kind of like we got for Mandalorian, like nobody knew what was going to happen. It was a very tight secret and it didn't get leaked, which props to them, you know? Like, I thoroughly enjoyed that rather than like, oh, this is the casting for this movie. And then like, we can totally guess what's going to happen. Do we want studios to stop trying to get us to go watch the movie by releasing the cast, or like keep some of the cast secret so that it doesn't get spoiled?
I feel that that's their bread and butter. To say Andrew Garfield is going to be in this movie, Brad Pitt's going to be in this movie, fucking Al Pacino, Robert De Niro. I think that's their hook, line, and sinker. Is that, you know, keep the surprises, you know, like, oh, it's an end credit scene with blah 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 blah. Keep that a secret. Don't tell us that. But it's like, because I will say, I will always be the first one to say that I shit on Ben Affleck on being Batman, you know, and to this day, my wife Oksana doesn't let me live it down. She's like, remember when you're talking shit about Batman, everybody Ben Affleck being Batman, everybody loves him, you know, which is fine, whatever. Like, I'll take it, and it's like, yeah, I fucked up, whatever. But when I found out that Robert Pattinson is going to be Batman, it's a completely different tune. It's like, let me see it. I want to see more. I want to see what he can do. You know, it's more of a
instead of judging.
Yeah, but it's not only that, but it's more of a hey, so and so is going to be this person. Okay, prove me wrong. You know what I mean?
Do you know
it's more
that there was a 50,000 signed petition for Michael Keaton not to be Batman, and a petition to get fucking Adam West to show up on the 89 Batman as Batman?
Bro, but again, it's one of those things.
Okay.
No, of course. It's the same thing with Robert Pattinson, because everyone was talking shit. He was in the Twilight movies. He was in this. He was in that. You know, but a lot of people end up comparing his Twilight, stint with being Batman. Have you guys seen any of his other work? You know, it's like, if you see any of his other work, he's a fucking amazing actor. He really is, and I think that's where I was blinded.
I didn't see the light until I was already a man. By then it was nothing to me but blinding.
When Ben Affleck being Batman, oh, it's fucking Ben Affleck. Oh, I can't believe it. He's fucking Ben Affleck. To give the actor the chance, like I love the fact that they announce like main characters. That's a fucking cool thing. This person's going to be this person. This person's going to be that person. But if you're going to be Easter eggs or end credit scenes, keep that shit a secret. I don't want to know that. That shit I don't know, because it's like you pulled me in by casting Robert Pattinson as Batman. And then at the very end, you end up showing fucking Ra's al Ghul, or you show who the Joker is going to be. That would fucking just the cherry on top of the amazing fucking ice cream sundae that you have served me these last 2.5 hours that you've given me. Showing me who the Joker is going to be, for fucking 10 seconds, not even that, less than that. You give me that on top of Robert Pattinson being Batman. Like,
even in the Joker, when they showed like the thing that's gonna happen, the thing that happened to Bruce Wayne, like it's not even Batman versus Superman, but you just in this movie you just showed, yeah.
And that's the thing. That's one of those things where it's going to be like every collective nerd in that movie is going to be like, I need an extra pair of pants, please, because of what I just saw. It's going to be one of those things where it's just kind of like he just creamed in his pants because he saw who the next Joker is going to be, who the next Ra's al Ghul is going to be. We already know who Penguin's going to be. We already know who the Riddler is.
He's already got a fucking HBO, or what does he have? He has something, a spinoff, right?
Who?
Penguin's gonna have a
the Penguin? Yes, he's gonna have his own spinoff on HBO Max. Yes, and then they've already told us, they've already announced that the real, quote unquote, real Batman is gonna show up in the Batgirl film that's supposed to be coming out on HBO Max. So so we see Batman in that Batgirl film. That's going to be our Batman moving forward. So
unless something makes a $20,000 million,
of course.
Just kidding.
Exactly.
Please don't do that anymore. Don't.
No, for sure.
Well, this has been our show today, guys. It was definitely a connection issues for me. And if you're going to listen to this and you're... Shut up. And if you listen to it and you hear very AOL connection for me, that's totally what's going to happen. My free trial ran out. But I used it up. I used my minutes, and it is after 9, so you remember what happens. But thank you all for listening and getting to this far on the podcast. We always appreciate your feedback. Please on any of the topics that we have discussed today. Leave us a comment of what your thoughts are. If you watch Dune, if you watch The Eternals, what you're going to think is going to happen in No Way Home, what your thoughts are about leaks and spoilers. We love to hear from you. And once again, we are Comix, and we are
everywhere.
And Mr. Luis, very happy birthday to you, sir. Good night.
Good night. That's cool. Did you know that Henry Cavill almost didn't answer Zack Snyder when he called him about Superman?
Really?
Mm-hmm. He was too busy playing World of Warcraft.
Oh, I love that.
He was too busy playing World of Warcraft, and then he looked over at his phone. He's heard his phone buzzing, what he says, and he decided to ignore it. But he saw, like, at the very last second, like right before, like, it was gonna go straight to voicemail, he saw it was Zack Snyder, so he picked it up.
That's a phone call you want to pick up.
Right.
If your casting is based on if you don't pick up this phone call, that doesn't sound stable, but it adds to the story.
Oh, so you're saying that you think if he would have not answered the phone, he would have not gotten the part?
No, that's what I said. No, I don't think it's, I think he still would have. But I do like the sass that you have on it. Yeah, I like
that.
Duh. That's pretty much it.
We should tell. What about, is Zach okay? Because if we tell him now, he might go.
That's fine. Tell him.
Tell him, eh?
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah. He's gonna try to get everybody high though.
Marcus might go too. Arias might go too.
Ooh, you know what that means, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Tell him.
Tell him,
What
eh?
does that mean?
All right, because you asked,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a guy joke, but it's like, you know what that means? My dick's growing. So it's a you asked for it. That's what girls like to hear. You asked for it. Fuck me.
Oh,